Let's talk money now. And after years of some inflation, high interest rates, economic uncertainty, many Americans are turning to what's being called revenge saving. That is stashing cash away to regain control of their finances. And this new trend is creating a powerful shift in how people are thinking about money. And finance pro Mark Henry, who is the founder and CEO of Alloy Wealth Management, is here to break it down for us. Mark, thanks for joining us. What is revenge saving?
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, what is revenge saving?
Yeah, so it's this idea of like hyper aggressively saving. I think we've had some years of hyper spending, and now all of a sudden, because of high inflation, because of prices, the younger generation and others are deciding it's time to take control of their finances and get very aggressive about saving money and getting control of their finances.
Mm-hmm. It has been a couple of generations now since people lived through the Great Depression. They were, of course, the best savers of the last century.
Savers ever.
And so this is the first time this century this kind of mindset shift is happening. And how is it impacting spending decisions?
Well, it's becoming the flavor to say no, I guess I would say. So think about this. We've gotten into this culture where your friends invite you out to the nice dinner and everybody wants to say yes. Well, now it's becoming this idea of saying, hey, we're not going to go. We'd love to have you over. We'd love to join you, but we're hyper in saving and getting control of our finances. Another term for it is loud budgeting. I hate that word budget. I like loud spending plan better. But loud budgeting is really just letting people know what you're doing. And you're trying to take control and get back your life that you've kind of lost, because it's been hard for many Americans to pay the bills right now. It's tough.
If you think to yourself, you know what, I really do need to aggressively save now, what's the best way to get started?
Yeah, you have to know where the money's going first. I think that's the number one thing. And it's something, as you mentioned, the other generations were really good at. Remember, they used to write it all down. They knew where every dollar went. And right now, people really don't. So I always say, start with this. Where's the money going? So look at all the things that automatically come out of your account. All those gym memberships you signed up for. At one point in my life, I had 3. But it turns out you have to actually use them to get in shape. So find all the things that are hidden that are coming out of your account. Assign a job to every dollar. It's called zero-sum budgeting. There's that budget word again. But know where every dollar goes and assign a job for it.
What should we be doing with the money once we're saving it? I know people will always say, oh, don't leave it just sitting in a savings account because you're not getting enough return for that. So if you are saving, what should you do with the money?
Well, that's a great point, because the reality is there's so much advice on all the social media sites right now. And the first word I would say is be cautious. So one of the mistakes we see people making is they get excited about doing this revenge savings and really going to get fired up about saving. Well, we do that. Have we paid off our credit cards? So let's talk about that for a second, because high yield credit card debt and things like that have to go away. But what comes first? An emergency fund always comes first. So that is actual money that you will not be investing. It needs to be in a high yield savings account, typically not found at your local bank, but many online banks actually have some savings accounts that pay a pretty good interest rate right now. So you get an emergency fund of 3 to 6 months spending, then you tackle all the debt. Once the debt's gone, when I say all the debt, I'm not talking about homes and cars. I'm talking about the credit cards. Once you have that under control, now it's time to start saving and really get invested. And that's where you start opening up things like Roth IRAs, if you're allowed to contribute to them. I love the Roth. Brokerage accounts, contributing to your company's 401s, 403s, and all the other ways you can save money. But first things first, emergency fund always comes first.
Yeah. Once you have those things set up, thinking about the long term is so important, but then people start to think, well, I gotta live. You know, it's the summer. What's the point in living if I can't have a good time? How do you find the right balance in saving money, but also living your life?
Yeah, especially for families. I encourage people to get their families involved in this idea. Teach your children. They're so smart and they can learn so much, and they're going to have to do this for themselves. So the way to do that and actually enjoy it is you have to have fun. all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. So when you think about that, let's plan the summer vacations, the weekend vacations, the weekend trips, but let's plan them around a spending plan. We have this much available, so let's sit at the kitchen table and say, we can spend this much this weekend. What can we go do that will be great fun, but stay within our goals? And teach your family how to do this kind of stuff. And getting young children involved can make it extremely actually fun.
Yeah, always good to teach them how to find free fun, right, all around you.
That's
Any
right.
final takeaways or advice as we go from summer into the school year?
Yeah, I would say it's difficult right now, especially with the school year starting. There's so many things that cost so much money. But here's the reality of this. Revenge savings is awesome. And what I mean by that is simply this. Getting control of your finances can be one of the best things you'll ever do. People find themselves many times in a place they never planned on being, and they don't like it. But the question I would ask them is, where was your plan to be somewhere else? Well, today is a great day to get started planning to be in a different place in 2 years, in 12 months, and you can do it. Others have, and you can too.
A penny saved is a penny earned, right? All right, Mark Henry, head of Alloy Wealth Management. We appreciate your advice. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.